Hi, Amanda. Okay, so you said you know how to use the technology, but you were still having trouble with B and C. So for this one, again, I would still go to StatCrunch, so you can use your technology here. So we're gonna go to StatCrunch here. And this time, let me just minimize this window so I can pull you through the problem here. Just let it load. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to conduct a test of the alpha equals 0.05 level of significance. First determine the null and alternative hypothesis, the test statistic, and the p-value. Assume they were obtained independently from a large population, random sampling, and we're testing whether p1 is greater than p2. Our sample data is x1 equals 117, n1 equals 246, x2 is 141, and n2 is 303. Okay, so we're dealing with proportion stats here where x is your number of successes and n is your total that you were testing. So we're going to go, when we go to StatCrunch, let me just open that back up. You're going to go to Stat, and we're doing proportion stats for 2 samples. And again, this time we don't have all the data, but we do have the summary. Okay, so for sample 1, let's see here, it was 117 and 246, 117, 246. And then for sample 2, 141 and 303. So let's see, 141 and 303. Okay, so here you had already picked what your 2 statements would be, your null and alternative hypothesis. Now the thing to remember is that in StatCrunch, they do P1 minus P2 as the left-hand side instead of like P1 equals P2. So that null hypothesis, because we want P1 to equal P2, we want their difference to be 0. So that's the statement here, P1 minus P2 equals 0 is the same as your P1 equals P2. And if we do the same thing for the alternative hypothesis by subtracting P2 from both sides, you'll have that P1 minus P2 is going to be greater than 0. So if I go down here, this is my little bar, so we're going to put in that P1 minus P2, we want that to be greater than 0 for that statement that you had done. Okay, and then you'll go ahead and click compute. So here when we compute, you have your z-stat and your p-value all laid out for you, which is awesome. Okay, so then you'll just have to know when to reject the null hypothesis or fail to reject the null hypothesis. But as long as you get this correct, these should come out correct as well. So let's just check that and make sure that it all came out correctly. And yep, they got 0.24 and we got 0.239, so they're rounding to that hundredths place. And then I bet if you type in your 3 decimal places 0.405 for the p-value, you should be correct as well. So let me just check that. 0.405. And that works. Okay, so what I would do is I would definitely put down similar question and try that one again just so that you know the steps. But if you have any more questions, let me know.